Hi, hello. I grew up with Goosebumps, if it wasn't already obvious. But I read a lot of the books and I saw a lot of the episodes and they're not scary, right? Even as a child, merely getting into horror, they didn't do a whole lot. Woke up with dry bed sheets after reading Stay Out of the Basement, if you catch my drift. But then one day in the distant past of 2007, a TV movie aired called Haunting Hour, Don't Think About It. Brought to us by the same man that made Goosebumps, Mr. R.L. Stine, if it wasn't already obvious enough. Yeah, every series that R.L. Stine makes that isn't Goosebumps is kind of explicitly marketed as the man who brought you Goosebumps. On one hand, I feel bad for him because he'll never be able to escape that. On the other hand, get that bag. But my 7-year-old ass sat down and watched that movie and holy shit, dude. This movie legitimately fucked me up as a kid. My whole life at that point revolved around Kirby Air Ride and cereal. I was not mentally prepared for this. And yeah, I lived and breathed Goosebumps, but going from that series to this movie is like going from Candyland to Settlers of Catan. It's gonna fuck up a 7-year-old, man. Now, is it still scary as an adult? Well, I honestly don't know. I'm being so serious right now. I have not watched that movie since I saw it when I was a kid. It legitimately fucked me up that bad. But, maybe I'll watch it someday. But 3 years later, they came out with a full-fledged TV series simply called Haunting Hour. A pretty popular one at that, considering how many people want me to talk about this series. But hey, at that point in time, I was 3 years older now. I was 10 years old now, and at that point in time, I've watched plenty of actual horror movies. And yeah, that show still fucked me up. No joke, I vividly remember watching the doll episode with my dad and just being scared shitless. And to make things worse, at the end of the episode, my dad turns to me and he's like, yeah, that was pretty scary. And my dad is not the type of person to sugarcoat his opinions, even in regards to children's media. For reference, whenever I watched Goosebumps, he would constantly shit on it, talking about how cheesy it is. And to be fair, he was pretty valid.
I'll be seeing you real soon, cousins.
So I thought today I would go through a specific episode, but then I also thought, hey, the fall season is upon us. People have been wanting me to talk about this series for a long time. Might as well start off the season right and give the people what they want. So we'll be talking about 2 episodes today. A little double feature. Just for you. But not you, Alex. So the first episode I'll be talking about today is Season 1, Episode 17's Catching Cold. Mainly because when I googled scariest Haunting Hour episodes, this one was routinely in the conversation. And also because it's got motherfucking Rowley in it. In the episode, the character name is Marty, but I'm just gonna refer to him as Rowley throughout the video because I think it's funny, so. Oh, wait. Should we talk about the intro real quick? Yeah, so I guess an ongoing side quest to this channel is to rank and compare all the different R.L. Stine show intros. So once again, it's not as good as Goosebumps. There's absolutely no touching that intro, but it is better than Nightmare Rooms. Haunting Hour's intro is pretty straightforward and simple, but moody and effective. That's it. Easy beats here, I guess. Now we can finally talk about the episode. So the episode begins with Raleigh laying in bed just doing absolutely nothing. His mom comes in, tells him to clean up his room, and then she leaves and he continues to just lay there. And it's not like he's watching TV off to the side. There is no TV in that room. I mean, we're only a couple seconds into this episode and already the most creepy thing is just this kid laying there doing nothing. Anyways, an ice cream truck is driving by the neighborhood and Rowley absolutely loses his shit.
The ice cream truck! Loan me some money for ice cream! I'll do it later, come on! I need money for the ice cream truck! So unfair!
My guy, it ain't that serious. And besides, look at the weather. It's wet, cold, and overcast. Does that look like enjoyable ice cream conditions to you? But he finds some money and he chases down the ice cream truck. However, the ice cream truck never stops. it just keeps driving. The next day, Riley meets up with his friend.
Hey, Marty.
Sup, Ari?
Catch?
Okay.
Jeez, Marty.
You gotta throw it to me.
I just love stupid jokes like that. Also, I think that's like the first time an R.L. Stine show like had a joke land for me. Humor's subjective after all, and it really was a dumb joke, but got an actual laugh out of me. But Riley tells his friend about the ice cream truck he saw yesterday, while his friend says he didn't see it or even hear it. Looks like we're dealing with a ghost ice cream truck here. Couldn't imagine anything scarier than that. But at the same time, a local mailman overhears the conversation and says he remembers the truck. Or rather, when he was a kid, he had a friend named Jimmy Jeffries that would talk about it all the time, but ended up disappearing.
One day he was there, babbling on about creamy cold, and the next day, he was gone. Well, take her easy.
Sir, you are scaring these children. Please just go back to your mail route. But like, imagine if you were a kid talking about ice cream and some random adult comes up to you and is like, yeah, I had a friend who liked ice cream. He's dead now. Anyways, have a good day. So later that night, Riley is awoken by the ice cream truck as it has left him a little gift. And I actually gotta give the show credit here. I didn't know you can make an ice cream truck so creepy and disturbing, but they pulled it off. Just the angles and the lighting and how the scene is cut make it pretty disturbing. So, yeah. Good job. You got me. I'm scared of an actual fucking ice cream truck. Good job. You want to fuck?
I want more! I want more! More!
Yeah, no, they're putting straight crack into that ice cream. Like, even as a kid, ice cream was never that addicting.
The way it tasted, I can't describe it. It was like heaven was melting over my tongue.
Yeah, okay, like, it's crack. Like, straight up. So Riley, after getting a taste, becomes obsessed with it. He's skipping social events, waiting for the truck. He's drawing pictures of ice cream. His parents might want to check up on him. So the ice cream truck swings by that night again, except his parents miss seeing it, which kind of leads into people doubting Riley about the ice cream truck altogether, since only he has seen it so far.
Lame. Creamy cold isn't just ice cream. It's the food of the gods. I want a room full. I'd like to dive into a giant tub of creamy cold and lick my way to the top.
So like, yeah, this kid definitely needs like rehab at this point. Like, we're all in agreement there, right?
Go home, Ari. Go and eat your frozen yogurt or whatever you do. You're bumming my trip. You're bringing me down. Really, go home.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house. I mean, I had to. There couldn't be a more perfect opportunity. So Riley is gifted a bike by his dad, and later that night, Riley uses a spike strip to stop the ice cream truck. Oh, yeah. Riley's dad is a cop, and he just has a spike strip in the back of his police car, and Riley just steals it. So now you're caught up, and this little scene makes more sense. So Riley climbs in the truck and finds Jimmy Jeffries.
You're Jimmy Jeffries.
Yeah, little Jimmy Jeffries. That's me.
Actually, really fucking terrifying, if I'm being honest. But Jimmy reveals that there is no driver, and the truck itself just needs a soul to operate. With Riley there now, Jimmy can leave, and, well, he does. So Riley is now trapped in the truck as it drives off, and that's the end of the episode. I mean, R.L. Stine isn't one for happy endings, but I don't know. This one seems really fucked up. More than normal. But overall, just a great episode. Like, straight up. It's good. Now, I've joked about the ice cream containing crack, but this episode really is about addiction, or how meaningless chases ultimately lead to nothing. It's a good story, really disturbing, actually good acting, and an insightful message. Overall, like, 8 out of 10. like, nice job. But for the next episode, we are going all the way to season 3 for its 17th episode, Funhouse, which also stars the main guy from 13 Reasons Why. I would make a joke about the show, but I haven't seen it, or even read the book for that matter. Yeah, how many of you guys remember that there's actually a book for 13 Reasons Why? By the way, the book only covered like season 1 apparently, so the rest of the seasons were just completely made up. So none of this like ghost girl shit happened in the book. I say I didn't watch it, but I clearly seen a couple clips on YouTube. So we start with a really dramatic scene between a brother, Chad, and his sister, Kelly. They're just talking about how their dad can't make it home for dinner that night, questioning if they still love them after the divorce, which is actually really cool. Not so much the divorce thing, that fucking blows, but the fact that they're even talking about it, because Goosebumps really didn't touch subject matters like that. Maybe there are some allegorical stories out there that talked about divorce, but at least in my recollection, Goosebumps really never covered divorce head-on like this episode does. But their attention is quickly drawn to a funhouse passing by late at night. Now, I've picked these two episodes with no real rhyme or reason. It's just coincidental that they both start with fun shit driving by late at night. But cut to the next morning, and the divorce talk still continues, with Chad clearly not handling it very well.
I know how hard this is for the both
Can we
of
not talk about this? Everything's fine.
Later on, while Chad and Kelly walk to school, they come across the funhouse and decide to investigate.
Hello, kiddies. $2 for 2 tickets.
Oh, fuck nah. They got the Reddit moderator running the show. Fuck this. But Chad buys a ticket while Kelly does not, because she's getting bad vibes. Chad quickly walks through the salvia room before coming across the Home Sweet Home display.
So funny. Home sweet home. What a lie.
Okay, bro, we get it. You're a child of divorce, but you're kind of harshing the vibe over here, okay? Like, we're just trying to enjoy some art. But the family on display start arguing, and Chad, well, Chad doesn't take it very well.
Stop! Stop it! Stop! I hate you! I hate all of you!
But the family disappear and the lights turn on, revealing a giant mallet, and a voice encourages Chad to destroy the room. Now, I'm no psychologist or anything, but I don't think that's the healthiest way to deal with your emotions. But Chad finally emerges from the funhouse, telling Kelly how fun it is and how she should go in. Chad himself almost goes in again before Kelly stops him, saying that they'll be late for dinner. So the family proceeds to have dinner and, hold up, flag on the play, zoom in. Why the fuck is this bitch drinking orange juice with dinner? Like, that's gross. Ew. Ugh. You guys drink orange juice with pulp or no pulp? I was no pulp as a kid, but now I kind of fuck with pulp. Besides the point. Anyways, let's check in with Chad and see how he's doing mentally.
What happens to families who stick together?
You know, this episode is called Funhouse, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of fun in this house. Later that night, Chad sneaks out to get his late night craving of destroying IKEA furniture. After the first go around, he immediately goes back in again. Except this time around, he is met with a hall of mirrors, with a message saying, the only way out is to face yourself. And then hard cut to morning time with Chad in Kelly's bedroom trying to convince her to go.
No. I have the funhouse. The funhouse is the only place I can feel good.
Yeah, okay, so turns out we're dealing with another addiction metaphor here. I swear this is completely coincidental, but there really is a lot of similarities between Catching Cold and Funhouse. Both have a mysterious supernatural thing that rolls into town. Both are allegories for addiction, both have side characters trying to help, and both take place on overcast and rainy days. Although, that last point may just be a Haunting Hour special. Every episode looks so dark and depressing with its muted colors, and it always looks like it's about to rain, and it's just very neutral lighting, I guess. But I like it, you know? It's a more serious show, so it fits. Anyways, Chad hurtfully forces Kelly to the funhouse, but she runs away before she can go in. Later on, Chad comes home late at night, disfigured in the same manner as he was in the reflection. Chad runs away and Kelly chases him into the funhouse. There is where they have the big confrontation. Kelly just reminds him that no matter what, he's not alone and that they have each other. Chad then learns how to live with his anger in a healthy way and becomes normal again. Upon leaving the funhouse, it and the carny vanish. And that's it. Yeah, definitely a more positive ending on this one. Overall, it's not really that scary. However, at the same time, I'm willing to bet that there were probably some kids whose parents were going through a divorce and that this episode maybe sort of helped. I mean, the ultimate message is that divorce sucks, but you're not alone. And it's okay to feel angry, but you can't constantly feed into that emotion or turn to alternative substances to alleviate that feeling. You kind of gotta look inwards and work on yourself. And all of that is said very explicitly. And that's kind of maybe the problem, unfortunately. I mean, it's a story about divorce, addiction, and substance abuse with just a dash of horror. And I think that's kind of the main problem. It's a good story, but where's my horror? I want my sheets to be wet when I wake up in the morning, okay? And here's the thing, Catching Cold just kind of does a much better job. Because that episode still tackles the same subject matters, except for divorce, but in a much better way where horror is still the main through line. You know? Conceptually, I love Funhouse, but the end product just falls a little flat for me. 6 out of 10. Not bad. So yeah, I didn't really grow up with Haunting Hour like that. Once again, I think the movie and the doll episode were the only times I actually watched anything Haunting Hour related. But after these two viewings, they actually seem to be playing with some special sauce. I can see why you guys want me to talk about this series for so long now. Like, I'm definitely more excited to rank this series now. Once again, not this October, but definitely next October. I apologize. But that's where I think I'll end the video for today. So like, comment, and share the video because it really helps out the channel. Go ahead and subscribe because I have future content coming out that you guys don't want to miss. And as always, thanks for watching.